So is critiquing Israel anti-Semitic? Man, this is a loaded question. This is a loaded topic with just hundreds and hundreds of layers to drill down on. I think we really have to be careful. We have to be nuanced. We have to be specific about what we're talking about here with the ongoing Israel Gaza war, which I hate that because it's not a conventional war. Uh, Palestinians don't have conventional weapons. If they do, they're very, very minimal. In Israel, as we know, as Americans like myself, we know we're funding Israel and arming them. And today we just finally stopped sending bombs. And that's a good thing because what's going on in Rafah next, it's going to be a bloodbath. There's 600,000 children there, and that's where Bibi Netanyahu wants to go next with all the weapons. And it's just a literally a never-ending nightmare to what's going on over there. But the broad strokes, calling everybody who's critiquing Israel an anti-Semite, is a bit concerning, especially when our own Congress in the House of Representatives has passed a bill that's going on to the Senate redefining anti-Semitism as anybody who critiques Israel. This is a scary time for us Constitution-loving people who value the First Amendment, because what I'm doing, what most of us are doing, is critiquing Israel and their government and their policies and their disproportional and genocidal response of the Israeli government to October 7th. That's where I'm coming from. That's where a lot of us are coming from on the left. A lot of us want a one or two state solution. So I don't know how I can be anti-Semitic if I want a peace deal. I don't know how I can be anti-Semitic when I'm supporting the one or two state solution for peace. It really boggles the mind. And we're just seeing these broad strokes in media calling anybody and everything anti-Semite or anti-Semitic if there's a critique of Israel in any way, shape, or form. Once again, this is dangerous. For anybody who gives a damn about the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, now it is time for you to wake up from your slumber. Because the United States government is about to take a big old dookie on the First Amendment. I hope it doesn't happen, but the bill has already passed the House. It goes on to the Senate, and then it'll go on to the president, he would likely sign it. He is a dedicated Zionist. So we have to be really aware of what's going on, and we have to put ourselves in this discourse, as complex as it is far out of your wheelhouse and my wheelhouse as it is. Mostly I'm a domestic policy guy. I focus on domestic policy consistently on this channel. We have to look at foreign policy of our government every now and then, and now is that time. I get it. It's a thick discourse, and I hate breaking ground with it, but I got you. The First Amendment is literally under attack by our own elected representatives, funded by AIPAC, the Israeli lobby. So we need to be on high alert and concerned. But it is not anti-Semitic to critique a government, a foreign government, at all, and to critique their policies and to say their policies are wrong-headed or have any variant opinion on that government and the way they conduct business. That is not anti-Semitic. That has no bearing, no personal attack about people, ethnicity, the racial makeup of that land or region. There's nothing like that going on. So it's kind of like, it doesn't make any sense. And when I look at the Jewish people, broadly speaking, we're dealing with a lot of people who have generational trauma. It's sad. The Holocaust obviously comes to mind. These people have been through enough. October 7th was horrible, obviously. And they've been through so much, and they're just really like in hyper reactive mode. And I get that way too sometimes. And so I'm willing to understand what's going on there. But the critique of the Israeli government is not anti-Semitic in and of itself. Now, there may be anti-Semitic people who are total racists and total bigots critiquing the government too. That can be true. And sadly, too many of those people exist. So it's kind of like, that sucks in itself. But no, critiquing the Israeli government is not an act of bigotry. It is not an act of racism. Most of us want a two-party solution. We want peace. We want the genocide to stop. A lot of us are just peaceniks who want this to end. We want the death to end. We want the bombs to end. We want to stop funding the genocide, okay, with our tax dollars. We want this nightmare to end. That is not anti-Semitic. That is pro-Semitic, if anything. We want this nightmare to end. There's nothing anti-Semitic about that. But just be careful and be wise when you enter this discourse, that people are going to come at you, guns ablazing, calling you an anti-Semite if you have the most mild critique of Netanyahu's government, which is completely unhinged. But don't buy into it. They're going to try to make you believe it. But we cannot give up the good fight here. We know Netanyahu has to go. We know the bombs have to stop dropping. We know we have to stop funding that war machine. We know these basic things, right? Don't give up on those because people are calling you an anti-Semite or whatever. No, I'm not buying into it. I don't accept it. And it's not going to stop us for wanting peace in that region and our money being sent over there. We're going to pursue that. We're going to get this thing to stop. Okay. We're going to stop. We're going to interrupt this. So don't be shy. Don't back down. You're on the right side of history. There's just a lot of people with a lot of accusations, and a lot of it is unfounded. Yes, sadly, anti-Semites, real anti-Semites might be in this discourse too. And sadly, those people still exist. I wish we would have taken them all out in World War II, but they're still here, and they're probably always going to be here. Sadly, they're still going to be here. So, but I'm not buying into it. I'm not buying into these broad strokes that everyone's an anti-Semite just because we have critique upon this insane government in Israel. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. I'll talk to you soon.